believe he is there.
Yeah.
He is there because it was something that I really wanted. He gave me the strength to power through whatever I needed to power through that summer, and it happened. My dad was happy. I was happy. My wife was happy.
Everybody.
So it worked out.
That's cool, bro.
Welcome to the Turnt Tables podcast. I'm Hyrule the Don.
Hey.
And I got my co-host here today, DJ Ray Funk.
What's
and Two Turnt Edward.
What's up, guys?
A.K.A. Eduardo Espinoza.
the government, man.
Whole government again.
Whole government, I'm sorry to put you on blast. But luckily, you're not a criminal
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right, so today's Memorial Day. And I just want to pay my respects to all the fallen soldiers and to all the families that, have lost loved ones. And I just want to give a moment of silence to all the fallen soldiers right now. Okay, so today is a special podcast because we got our second guest here. He's my cousin, and even more importantly, he's a really good father. And we've grown really close, even though we're cousins. Family member. You know what I mean? I see you as a friend, bro. We've been growing. Yeah. We've been hitting it off, bro, lately, right?
No, I see.
And
Hitting it off. Yeah.
and could never thank you enough, bro. Because when I was in that dark place, you know what I mean. You helped me. I wanted to kill myself, and you told me there's more to live for in life. You know what I mean. You reminded me that people actually love me whenever I thought nobody loved me.
Yeah.
And I just want to thank you, bro, for you know what I mean, like shedding light into my darkness those years back.
Yeah.
Because everybody else, I name dropped when I told you, somebody came and told me, go ahead and do it, go ahead and kill yourself, And you told me not to, you told me there was more to live for. So I'm, of course, forever grateful to that,
Yeah.
Who's our guest?
Right. I was getting there. So we got Hector Macias, my cousin.
Shout out Hector.
Thank you guys for having
Welcome,
me.
bro. Glad to have you on, bro, for real.
Thank you for having me. Glad to be here.
Yeah. Welcome.
Thank you. Heck yeah. No, pues sí. Yeah, pues I saw him, he was going through a hard time, and pues I had to, had to help him out, and, be that light for him.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Try to be that light for him, so.
Yeah, if there wasn't no Hector, there'd probably be no Hyro.
Exactly.
Probably not, bro.
Exactly.
So thank God,
Yeah. No, yeah. So, yeah, I'm glad he's still here. I'm glad he didn't hurt himself, and,
Yeah. Look at him now, right?
Yeah.
On the
aquí está,
podcast.
Yeah.
All growed up.
All growed up.
Y pues es que, pues I'm only like 3 years older than him.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's like,
I was doing that math earlier. Right
Yeah,
now.
so it's like, pues we got to try and be there for each other.
sure.
Gotta hold each other down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Good deal,
heck
man.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
no,
well.
yeah. Saludos,
All right.
saludos a todos los
So what are the
veteranos.
topics today, Hyro?
Dele.
You got the topics,
I
don't
do got
you?
the topics, so you're going my way?
We're going your way, bro.
All right,
You got
let's
it.
go my way then.
Got it.
All right.
Your way. Your way.
I
back.
had written some questions down, bro, just so we can get into. But
Yeah.
definitely want to. I know what we were kind of talking about earlier before we started the live, but
Yeah.
I want to get into some topics, which were the type of work you did,
Yeah.
and your experience while working at your previous job,
Yeah.
and I guess we'll talk about that next question later. But I guess the question is, tell us about yourself and your field of work that you were in, and maybe how long you've been doing it. Just the industry the type of work that you've been doing.
Yeah,
for-
pues working mechanic, like mechanic work, but, car sales también. Pues my dad has a car lot, and that's pretty much where I started off. And that's pretty much all I did. I've never worked my social or anything else, but, just being there, helping him out. And pues me también, growing, learning everything I can about cars.
Right on. So are you a full service mechanic?
Yeah. I guess you could say, oil changes, tune-ups, brake
A little
pads.
bit of everything.
Yeah, a little bit of everything. I've changed
Motors.
transmissions, motors,
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 for sure.
casi no. Because there was always, like the motor's bad, and then I would swap it, and then, hey, the transmission's not shifting. And I was like, well, I didn't really touch the transmission. So we would stay away from engine swaps, but other than that, everything else. I've lifted trucks, I've changed frames, I've gone to changing frames, the only custom was like lifting trucks up, pretty much.
Bro, we put a whole damn truck together at one point.
Yeah.
This fool made me tighten every damn bolt. I was like, damn, bro, like,
Wow.
Yeah, so yeah, we had a customer that he had a '99 Dodge Ram, and it got wrecked into, and dude was like, I want it fixed. And I was like, man, dude, you could buy another one for like, $2,000-3,000, whatever. He's like, it just has sentimental value.
Why, yeah, I was
it's
about to
true.
say, why is that? Why do
Some
people
people.
want to put more money into what the vehicle's worth?
Yeah.
And here's my thing that I don't get. It's like you see these cars pass by,
Yeah.
have rims on that are probably worth more than the actual vehicle.
Yeah.
Well, that's because they're
Sentimental,
value.
man.
Sentimental.
It could be passed down from dad to grandpa to
I guess
son.
that's true, but that doesn't make sense to me.
Like for example, like Ludacris, his first car was an Acura Legend, like a 1990 something Acura Legend, I think.
Yeah.
He still has it.
Wow,
So
the
it-
same
yeah,
one?
Yeah, the same one.
Oh, that's
he
crazy.
That's
he still
crazy.
has it because it was his first car.
Right.
El Post Malone, he has an Explorer, todo tricked out.
Wasn't it a Blazer?
Something like
Oh,
that.
yeah, I know what you're talking
Explorer, a Blazer, something like that. Because the same, I think it was his first car, and he just kept
I think
it.
that drummer Tommy Lee, because he got that from he got the idea from Tommy Lee, if I'm not mistaken. It's like a white Blazer. Yeah, because you know how whenever what was his freaking name? The one that murdered his wife supposedly.
O.J. Simpson.
O.J. Simpson when he fled
Didn't
the
he just
scene.
die? I think
The
he just
Bronco?
died.
Yeah, he died
Did he?
not too long ago.
Oh,
He
No,
just
he
died.
just recently
Yeah,
died,
like
bro.
3 weeks ago or a
Nah,
month ago.
about 2 months.
Yeah,
Couple
something
months.
like that.
no way.
He just
bro.
passed away.
Well, anyways, sorry
Yeah.
to throw you off, but
Karma. Nah, I'm just playing.
Damn, bro.
Dang.
You don't know this. I don't know the story though. I really don't know nothing about
God
OJ.
came back for him.
He did it, bro.
He did.
Yeah,
The glove didn't fit.
Really?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. You could just
Damn.
But the white Blazer that he fled the scene in.
Yeah.
The Bronco.
He won. Yeah.
It
Oh,
was
it's
a
a Bronco.
Bronco, yeah.
Right, not a Blazer. So I believe what you're talking. What type of vehicle the Post Malone had was a Bronco, if I'm not mistaken. He tricked it out and stuff like that.
Something like that.
So basically, it's like it's just to remember where you came from and where you started.
Yeah.
I gotcha. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah, to remember their
'Cause-
roots,
Yeah.
the struggle, the trenches.
struggle. Yeah.
Because
And especially if you have the money to hold that
And keep it.
and
yeah,
keep
yeah.
it,
yeah.
it's
Store it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's,
Yeah.
So it's
why
like-
not do it, right?
Yeah.
Damn, bro. So tell us about the Impala, bro. The '64. Why don't you roll it around?
I mean,
anymore?
I haven't. I need to work on it.
You still have
still
it?
have
I still
it?
have it.
Oh, that's
yeah.
awesome.
I still
Wow.
have it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
I didn't know that.
So
That's cool.
Yeah.
So okay, I know before we started the podcast, we were talking about or Hyro brought up that Hector had a really nice car, and one of his first cars was an Impala.
64 Impala.
64 Impala,
It's
and
a
he was
four-door, yeah.
he was gonna explain how that was like, or what was that like.
Well, I mean, my dad was he already had the car lot and everything, and was the owner of the 64. He came by, he needed money for surgery for his dad, and then the car it already has the marble blue, the original Dayton's, the hydraulic setup. He was cruising, the Main Street when it was popping.
Cruising down the street.
Right, for real. You
And
playing
he-
that song, weren't you?
Yeah,
Too.
and he got an eye pulled on him, so it's like he was, so he didn't want to get rid of it, but he needed the money and other reasons because of that. So that's when my dad asked me, what would you prefer, a 64 Impala or a drag truck? And it's like, nah, a 64. So like 2 months later, he shows up to the house in it.
Wow.
So it's like, oh
Nice.
my gosh, like what the heck?
Bro,
So-
that's like every young teenage
Yeah, for
Chicano's
real.
wet dream.
yeah.
No
It's a
kidding.
good,
Yeah.
it's a good.
Remember that scene on Blood and Blood Out? Can you buy me a lowrider when you get rich?
Oh, the kid, yeah.
Yeah, buy me a lowrider when you get rich. She's like, lowrider, get
Okay,
lowrider.
Lorraine, nigga, nada. So
Yeah.
it's like I got it, and I remember a couple of friends they would tell me like, damn dude, I would tell them my life story, and they're like, you were spoiled,
Bro, you lucky mofo,
You know,
bro.
they was-
Everybody,
they-
all the cousins were like,
that's
you
cool, bro.
lucky
They were like,
They're looking up to you now.
yeah,
Right.
So it's like they would tell me like, hey dude, you were spoiled. Like, well, I mean, I probably was, but I try to be grateful. I try to be grateful. My dad gave me this car. He went out of his way, and I told him how can I repay you? He's like, get me a college degree. Don't give me a high school degree. Give me a college degree. And this was at 14. I was like 14 at the time, 13.
Damn.
So he was like, give me a college degree and don't get no girl pregnant before you're supposed to. Before you're supposed
Dang.
to. So I got my college degree in 2012 in architectural technology,
Nice.
and I just
cool. I
had
didn't know
my
that.
2 girls, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's like,
You did it.
I waited. Yeah, I'm
Wow, bro.
36 now. So yeah, so I
Made
try
Papa
to.
proud.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
That's all I was, it's all I've been trying to do, So that's how I started messing with the cars. Because at that time, my dad still had a shop. I was still barely into high school. So that's where I started learning. I would go to school, pick my little sister up, then go home, clean up the house. And that's whenever I would start messing with spark plugs. And this is before Google. This is like, I was barely at
Figure
that
it
point.
out. You shock yourself.
Yeah,
a couple of times.
I burned stuff up, so
Yeah.
it's like, yeah. So that's where I started learning, how to mess with the hydraulics, how to charge them, the bushings, everything important. So whenever I would ask for parts, at the auto parts store, they would be like, "Oh, dude, you got a 64 Impala, yeah, like I used to have a Monte Carlo, a Regal."
Yeah, those
And
are
it's
nice
like,
too,
what
bro.
happened? Like, well, I sold it. I regret selling it.
For real.
And that always stuck with me too. I'm never gonna
Live in regret.
I'm never gonna let go of that car because first my dad gave it to me.
Right.
It's something
Sentimental.
emotional connection. That's why I'm never gonna let it go.
Yeah.
Bro,
You
I
know,
have memories as a youngster being like rolling with this dude.
Yeah.
And it would always be Rafa, right?
Yeah.
It was always be
Well,
Rafael would be rolling it,
he
and
would drive it.
and he'd be hitting the switches or
vice versa.
and bro, I remember just
'Cause
being
we were
in the.
little.
Yeah.
We were still little.
I remember
We
being in
couldn't
the back seat, and bro, this fool, like, I don't know if you know the 3-wheel motion.
Yeah.
But I'm in
Oh,
the
yeah.
back. I'm in the back seat, and like
Wheel
when,
motion.
bro, he hit it, and bro, like the cars went.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn. And then like I could see the street, bro. I could reach out and touch the street like that. I'm like, what the hell, bro?
That's crazy.
And like, man, bro, it was crazy.
Yeah.
So it's like that car had always. I love that car because that joy.
Hell
Every
yeah.
time I'm
It's a
driving that
thrill.
car, there's a kid in the other
It's
car.
like you're in a movie, and
Everybody-
they're like, hey.
It makes
Yeah.
their day.
Yeah.
It makes their day,
makes
bro.
their
Like,
day.
every head turns, bro,
Bro,
to
yeah.
you when you're in
Yeah,
that car,
of
bro.
course.
Like everybody,
And that's
all
how
eyes on
that's
me.
how I would try to use the car as
Entertainment almost.
to make an adult or
Kid.
the kid's day, like give them inspiration and everything. Even though it was given to me, I in reality I didn't earn it,
Yeah.
but I made my way through it.
Yeah.
So it's like whenever
Wow.
he would come over or whatever, like, hey, pues let's mess with the, and pues that's a memory that he has.
Yeah.
It's a good
That's
memory
good
that
memory.
he has. So it's like that. I would always try to pass that on. Every car show that I went to was for the benefit of whatever the car show was, because every car show I would go to would
Benefit?
be a benefit for a kid with cancer
Right,
or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's like I
So
never looked.
it still rolls around,
It still drives,
bro.
yeah, it
you're
still
gonna have
drives.
to take me and the girls
No,
on a
Simon,
cruise
I
one day.
did tell
Seriously,
you.
because the girls have never
Yeah, they
been in
never-
no damn lowrider. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
I want them to be in the back seat. Just
Do the switches still work?
Yeah, they still work.
Wow.
They still work.
Dang.
I mean,
I remember I got
everything,
another
Bro, you have to
memory.
bring it by here,
No,
bro.
Simon,
One day.
Simon. I
One
have
day
to.
when you have time, bro.
Yeah.
I
So-
got another
see that
memory
thing.
where you're parked at the Jack in the Crack right there on Main Street. And why did that happen? Because we got out, I guess, and then like the lowrider just started going crazy with all the switches. It was just bouncing like crazy in the damn parking lot, but with nobody in it. And then you had to go in there and you had to I think you burned your hands when you unplugged the batteries.
Well, I think that was for our cousin's quinceañera. It was for our cousin's quinceañera.
You remember who?
It was for our cousin's quinceañera. I don't want to name drop,
Yeah,
pero
you don't have to.
Right,
it was for
okay.
one of our cousin's quinceañera, and I was 14 at the time. That's when we were dressed in the soldier, the Marine, the cadets.
Cadet,
we were
the
dressed as the
cadets,
cadets, and we were going down Main Street to the Jack in the Box just to get something to eat real quick.
Oh, I
And-
got something.
And then
Go ahead, keep going.
said, one of the wires stuck. One of the wires stuck, and it's like, there's a quick shut off, and it sparked. So yeah,
Dang.
that's probably what he was talking about.
He said cadets, right? Look, let me give you a blast from the past.
Oh well, that's me in high school at the ROTC.
Oh,
That's
check
you, bro?
out.
Yeah,
I was wondering who that was, bro.
Yeah,
I was like,
man.
that's him,
This
bro.
guy.
that's me. That was in the ROTC.
Wow. Here, bro.
Dang.
So
That's
it's
crazy.
like
I didn't know you were in.
I was in
In
ROTC for a
ROTC.
year.
Wow.
That's where I met my wife.
Wow.
Yeah, in ROTC.
Wow.
So it's like we started doing the unarmed drill team.
Wow.
And yeah.
Yeah,
that's where I
my
met her.
daughter and my son were ROTC. My nephews were JR. What's it called?
Yeah, the JR. Yeah.
Yeah,
JROTC.
and then my godson did was color guard.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, for the school.
Okay,
Cool.
yeah, it's lo mismo. Yeah, it's in it because there's like different. They have the shooting part. They
Yeah,
have
yeah.
the marching. The
Yeah.
yeah, where they're marching with the rifles and or without the rifles,
Right.
stuff like that. The color guard. So it's
That's
like
crazy.
yeah, that
We've been seeing that picture up for
Yeah.
for a while. Yeah,
Me,
that's
longer.
Estaba flaco.
Me longer.
Like a couple 100 pounds ago.
Yeah. That's cool.
So it's like, yeah, man, pues, yeah, that 64, it's, I try to make it a meaningful thing, you know, like for everyone around us. There's some family members, sell it to me. Like,
Hell no.
just pretend, you know, just know it's in the family.
How much can you? I don't know if you want to, but how much did your dad get it for? Or
Man,
what
dude,
you
at
remember?
the time, I think he paid like 4,500
Bro,
for
what?
it. Yeah. At
And it's
that
probably
time.
worth more now, right? You can,
Oh,
you
yeah.
probably can sell it for more, maybe.
Yeah,
because I know
yeah.
people would really be willing to pay some money for that
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
just the frame by itself, just
Yeah.
the body.
Yeah.
Man.
It's funny
Yeah.
because the lady across the way, she has, I don't know if she still has it. I'm
Oh, I
pretty sure
think
it's
I've
probably
seen
in her
her.
garage.
Yeah.
But it has no paint. It's just 6'4", just like yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember one time, like, I was like, hey, you know, would you sell it? You know what I mean? Because I think I had, like, tax money and stuff.
Yeah.
She's like, I wouldn't care if you offered me $1 million. I
Dang.
still wouldn't sell
Yeah.
it to
Yeah.
you. I was like,
Yeah, for the same reason, because...
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, even though it's a 4-door, but, you know, the 2 doors are the ones that are sought after.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
okay.
a 4-door, but I still rode it. I still drive it. I still feel proud of it and everything.
yours
I
is a
didn't mind.
4-door, you said?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, mine's a 4-door.
That's cool, bro.
So it's like, you know, yeah, little things here and there. I started customizing it on my own. Like I changed the center knockoffs of the wheels. I put 2 other hydraulic pumps, chrome ones that I bought from down the street from the house. I would put little plates. I put little plates on the arches in the back on the frame, you know, to strengthen the frame a little bit more. You know, like the control arms, I got them extended. I painted them. I try to paint them like the color of the car. So like it has chrome lower control arms, chrome oil pan. I took the engine out of another truck that my dad had in the back. It was running and driving, and it has the original motor was a 327 with the 2-speed transmission, and they went out, and I messed up. I just threw it away like nothing. I should have kept it. Pero I put another engine in it and fuel injection and everything, EFI, and then the transmission has overdrive. So on the freeway, before that setup, I would drive it on the freeway from stop 6 all the way over here, all down 30. Now with that transmission, it can breathe a little bit more, like it's running really good. So
That's good.
Over the years, I've done little things here and there on it. The previous owner, I saw him like last year at a car show as well, and I would see him from time to time. He lived over here in Sansom Park.
Okay.
So I would see him. I would think he would get a little bit emotional because I still had his car. I kept it. I preserved it how he left it.
Yeah, that's real cool.
And he loves me about that. I feel like he appreciates that I did that for him because he had another truck. One of my uncles, that green Chevy, a long bed. That same guy bought that truck. He sold it to someone like me. You know, like he sold it to someone's dad. The dad gave it to him. In 2 months, he crashed it.
Oh,
Damn.
man.
So it's like, you know, pues, yeah. So ever since then, that you know, that the previous owner, he saw it. I could see where I took care of it as much as I could, and he loved it, and you know, and it's still there. So
it seems to be there's something special about somebody who can have something and really appreciate it.
Yeah.
You know, and not screw it up. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It seems like a lot of people, you know, screw up the good things that they haven't, but you actually took care of it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, I tried my best, you know, and that's one of the reasons that, well, I try to say, yeah, I might have been spoiled or whatever, but I try to be grateful. You know, I try to be grateful.
So I knew going back to the type of work that you were doing.
Oh, yes.
How long did you do that for, or did you say what you did? I don't know if
Mechanic.
The
you were
mechanic work.
mechanic. We know that, but
you
I
know, a
don't
little
if
bit all
anybody else-
around. You know, everything that included in the shop. You know, I did a little bit of car sales. You know,
How long did you do that for again?
Since 2006 and up.
Wow.
That's when I graduated high school, and that's when I really started, you know, being there at the shop and going to college at the same time.
Oh yeah. Wow. And so, are you still doing that now currently?
The mechanic work. Yeah, you know.
Are you still at the shop, and are you still doing?
Oh no,
mechanic?
I'm not at the shop anymore. I'm trying to do my own thing, and
So how many years did you pack into that shop?
into that shop since Well, since 18, I'm 36 now.
Damn, dude.
So from 18 to 35.
Wow.
18, 19, 20,
Yeah,
21.
so like 17.
Yeah,
years.
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Damn,
So
so
what?
solid.
So do you have any future plans or something that you would like to do, or like for yourself,
Well,
maybe starting your own mechanic
yeah.
business, or you just want to go a whole different direction with something else, or what does that look like for you?
Well, the future to me looks
Right.
like, pues, yeah, I mean, I guess once my girls are, a little bit older, pues, yeah, go back to it, but try to do like a mobile type of thing, from the house, like,
Yeah.
or go to people's houses, stuff like that. Because I've been there so long, the business side of it is like, the city really, has a grip on it. You gotta like make monthly reports. You gotta do yearly reports, and sometimes I forget. And the fines, they're not cheap.
Yeah.
So it's like I think was trying to be mobile, works out.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, but like for right now, pues I'm trying to help my wife. Pues she's going back to school, and I'm helping her with the girls. So it's like
How are you enjoying it? I know that's probably a big difference from working every day to, now just having more time with your daughters and family. And
Yeah.
how's that experience been for you?
well,
Or what's
I-
the differences? Like, what do you,
It's-
how are you feeling about all of it?
to me it's still fresh. It's still fresh because I just left like back in March, and it's still fresh. And so many years being there at the shop, having that mentality of the man brings in the dough, everything this and that. Like I'm still adjusting. I'm still trying to adjust. And it has its good moments. Like I'm barely starting to see like the good times, like being with my daughters and stuff. Like the
Yeah.
other day we went to the zoo. I was so happy. Like man, like this is new to me.
Wow.
Every family party I've been to, I'm the last one there, or I wouldn't.
No,
go.
you for real.
So it's like the shop. I wouldn't say hold me back, but only because I tried to secure my future.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You got to
You know,
get
so-
bread.
Yeah, so it's like now it's just I'm trying to adjust to that where I'm just making as much money as I'm, trying to get new customers, whatever, and trying to do things from the house, and I have less hours compared to infinity hours that I had there, so it's like I have way less hours to do what I want to do, and but main focus right now is helping my wife out with the girls and trying to raise my girls as best as I can, because I talk to a lot of people about that, and they're like, dude, I regret not spending time with my kids when they were little.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. yeah.
So that's another thing that I go back to about the 64 that, everyone would regret selling their cars. I wouldn't. That's another thing, another cycle that I'm trying to break. It's another
Yeah.
cycle that I'm trying to break where, all our parents, they sacrificed all their time, to
Yeah.
give us a better life. I understand that. I don't blame them or anything. But now they
Right.
paved the road. They paved
Right.
the way. I want to try to make a difference and, help
sure.
my next generation,
Yeah.
be better.
Right.
Amen to that.
Be better.
Yeah, I think
happier.
that's how it is. That's how it's like. I'm the same way, bro, with my own kids. And
Yeah.
wanting to be there for them. Like, my son's, he just had a little graduation, pre-K graduation.
Yeah.
So I was able to make that.
Yeah.
So, and to see him up there, bro, gave me so much pleasure. Like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, and it
Being
just-
able to.
Right.
Like,
and
able
being able to experience it and see him just with his little cap and gown on, I was like, it really touched me,
Yeah.
So it's good. Those are great moments to experience.
Yeah, and I think también where I'm not, blaming anybody or anything, but like there's that. I wish I could have seen my kid graduate pre-kinder or whatever, this and
Right.
that, but they couldn't
Yeah.
because work, whatever.
Right.
So it's like, I think we always say we want to give the best to our kids.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what we're supposed to give them.
Right.
Not the toys,
Yeah.
not the
Yeah, for
money,
sure.
not
Yeah,
the,
yeah.
that,
Being
the
there, being
memories.
present,
those
Yeah,
moments,
the
those
moments.
exactly. Those precious moments.
Yeah.
So
it's like that's how I feel, where I'm at right now. I'm trying to make some, some good memories with my daughters right now, and once they get it, because there's gonna be a point in time where they're gonna be doing their own thing.
Yeah.
So it's like
That's where I'm at right now. My
Oh,
kids are already married, grown, and out of the house.
orderly, yeah,
So,
yeah.
we're just waiting for grandkids, which they're probably not coming anytime soon.
Yeah.
But, it's just me and my wife right now. So we got an empty nest.
Okay, yeah.
So-
So I know that's gonna be coming
Yeah.
up soon. Well, not soon, right?
Yeah,
But
no, not soon, but it'll come.
eventually, yeah. So it's like I think by that time, pues, boom, I'll kickstart it again.
Yeah.
So saying that, do you feel like right now transitioning to where you're at now, do you feel like it's not very purposeful for you, or do you feel unfulfilled in any way, or how are you feeling? Like, do you feel complete now that you're able to do these things with your family more and see your daughters, or like has there been any kind of like shift in your how you feel about things?
Oh yeah. Like I said, like I guess what I'm, like one of the ways I'm trying to explain it was, I mean, I'm not trying to compare myself or anything, but like a soldier leaving the military, like
it's hard to leave. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Like you've been living this life this whole time, and then just to not have it anymore, it's like it's kind of like
it's a shock.
It's a shock. Yeah.
So it's like that's where I'm still at right now, but I'm starting to see the beautifulness and and I think that's the shift. That you're asking, right?
You're getting to smell the roses or the flowers.
Yes. And I'm not used to that. Por si, I'm an accelerated person. I'm a hyper person, and to slow down like this is like, oh man, like I gotta look for something else. That's when I started working out or trying to work out, work on my health, so I can live a little bit longer for my girls. And, like being able to do things, with my girls and, take them to the movies, the zoo, whatever. And it's just so different to me, like a little bit of a role reversal, kind of like a role reversal thing. Because I'm at the same time, I'm trying to be my wife's rock, so she can stand up and, elevate herself.
Good for you,
So, I mean, I'm trying my best. So it's like I got all that going on.
Right.
And
the turntables.
Yeah.
Turntable story.
I'm trying to learn
the
to roll.
tables turn.
Yeah.
How the turntables.
Signature question.
So I'm still trying to learn how to roll with the punches. I'm still
gotcha.
trying to learn how to roll with the punches.
Yeah.
So
It gets better, man.
I mean, it has to. I mean, I'm sure it will. It's going to.
Do you feel like you're getting like a lot of like little laughs when you laugh at your daughters and stuff, the little silly stuff that they do?
Oh yeah, man. They're doing. My baby, my oldest one. She's she's coming more, talking more, and stuff like that.
Having her own personality.
Yeah. So it's like, and then my little one is following her too. So it's like, como que they're both growing up at the same time, and she's starting to get her little character and stuff. And it's like, I see it, and it's like, oh man, like, it chokes you up. It chokes you up.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure, bro. What are your thoughts on faith? Like, do you have faith in God? Do you trust in God? And do you feel like He's leading you in any way out of this stuff?
Most definitely.
Like maybe if you want to talk about that.
Most definitely. I believe. There's God. One and only God, and He's. He's there for all of us that want Him. That want to do better, be better. And he's there like a father, and my faith might not be as strong, like I have maybe wandered off, whatever. Pero pues I'm trying to come back to it, I'm trying to come back because before all this, my mom, she had me in the church a lot. She had me be like the monaguillos, the deacons, stuff like that. Yeah. So it's like my mom was, she was that balanced. My dad was a hard, tough guy. Yeah. And then my mom was a soft, loving, trying to show me what, right from wrong and spiritually. So I guess a lot of my faith, is from her. And a lot of our aunts and, our moms and this side of the family, they're, my grandma, she was really, she was a rock, and she was the one showing us the faith, in all of us, for all of us. So it's like, man, I've had a couple of stories about my faith. Like this one story, me and my wife, we were starting to date. It was like the second year into the relationship, and she's like, let's travel somewhere. Like, okay, we'll set it up. I'll figure it out. I'll get some extra cash, so we can take to spend over there. She found a Groupon for like $800, 5 days,
Shout
4
out
nights.
Groupon.
Yeah. So and it was at the Dominican. So she was like, we just got to get a plane over there. That's all. They're going to feed us. There's alcohol, everything. Like, okay, cool. So I asked this was in April. And in April of 2008. And I asked my dad, like, hey, Dad, do you think I can borrow or if I can have $1,000 to go on this trip, like just for emergencies, whatever. I'm not even going to touch it unless if I have to.
Right.
My dad's, at that time, we only had $3,000 in the business account. So that's how much the shop was worth, because it had just started. Well, it wasn't starting off, but it was already going. And my dad was like, how am I going to give you a third of what the business is worth? And I'm like, okay, yeah, you're right. I understand. I still have till August. We're going to the trip in August. So I'll start saving, whatever. And my dad will only give me like, 100, 200, 300 bucks a week. So that summer, like $43,000 were made.
Wow.
So by that time, by the trip, my dad was like, okay,
Oh,
mijo,
yeah.
ahora sí, how much do you need? But I don't know how it happened or what, but it was crazy, because it was, God showing me.
Sure.
That's where I believe he is there.
Yeah.
He is there because it was something that I really wanted. He gave me the strength to power through whatever I needed to power through that summer, and it happened. My dad was happy. I was happy. My wife was happy.
Everybody.
So it worked out.
That's cool, bro.
And ever since then, like, oh no, he's there.
Yeah.
He won't give it to you. He'll show you.
Right.
So
provide, work.
Right.
Yeah.
Go out and get it now.
Yeah.
Yep.
So my faith, man, I feel, like it has been strong at some times. I have wandered off, pero pues I think it's all part of the, all part of the
process.
Life process.
Yeah, for sure, bro. I believe that.
Process.
I believe that, man. So I have one more question if y'all want to tack on something after or now if you want to. But my question to you is, if you were to see your younger self, you being how you are and who you are now, like what advice would you give your younger self now looking back? Like what's something that you would tell yourself?
My younger self,
Any advice, good or bad?
well, I mean, I feel like I have no regrets.
That's good.
I have no regrets to this day. I guess work a little bit harder, work a little bit harder. I guess I should have worked a little bit harder, I feel like. And, like, be smarter, like prepare more for the future. I guess prepare more for the future. Because, like I said, I have no regrets. I love the life that I live now. But, there was a point in time where my wife, me and my wife, she was my girlfriend at the time, where my younger self, she was like, I was working a lot at the shop. I would spend a lot of time there at the shop. She would feel like I wasn't spending enough time with her. Excuse me. And then at the time, I was like, look, I'm working for both of us, but if you want, I can spend all my free time with you, but there's a sacrifice. There's always a good and a bad to every decision. So it's like, I'll spend all my free time with you, as much time as I can. But then we might struggle in the future, getting a house, whatever, this or that. So it's either one or the other. Either I focus on me now, getting a house, whatever, a car, start buying, selling cars. I might not spend as much time with you, or vice versa. So it's like I said, no regrets. I love the way things turned out. But I think that's one of the things I would tell myself to better manage and balance.
Balance, there you go.
Yes, better manage and balance everything.
Yeah.
At a young age.
Okay, so this kind of just got inspired, but do you feel like you were good enough throughout this whole process? Like, do you feel like you did all that you needed to do and you feel content, or do you feel like, man, like, I wish I would have did this.
There was some times, but then it all worked out.
Yeah,
it all worked out. Like, for example, 2018, that's when me and my wife, we got married by the church, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And it was right before COVID, mind you.
Wow.
So it was right before.
Yeah.
Remember, COVID was
Yeah.
2020. So at that time, we were still living with my mother-in-law. And we were living with her to help her out. My younger brother-in-law, he had left to the Marines and everything. And so they were going to be by themselves. They would struggle a little bit with the bills and stuff. They're mature and stuff. So we moved in there with her. And my wife was like, hey, dude, I don't want to be here when my brother comes back, because he was already married with a baby.
Yeah.
And, it's like, I want us to do our things.
Right.
So, like, at that time, I was thinking, like, we should have bought a house at first thing, get-go, But we never knew we were going to be together or not.
Right.
So that's another thing that... So, in 2018, my wife she was preparing for the wedding and stuff, and looking for everything, the venues and everything, and then she's like, hey, let's start looking for houses. And I was like, no, dude, like one or the other, you know, like either a wedding or a house, because it's
No
both
doubt.
it's
No
both
doubt.
life changing.
Yeah,
they're
man.
both life changing events. So it's like she's like, no, pues the wedding. Like, okay, well the wedding's good to go. Let's look at some houses. Let's see what's up. You know, like okay, let's get some practice. So it's like, all right. So we started looking at houses, and that was crazy because it was like. All the houses that we looked at, boom, 2 weeks, 1 week.
Yeah, they're going.
They were going. It was
Yeah.
like if ya ves que all the people from California moved over
Right,
here.
right.
Como que I think that's when it started happening.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So the house that I live in now, I love that area because another friend of mine from church, he used to live in that area. It's like a little cul-de-sac, and I loved it. So there was a house there, and it's like I love this house. Like, oh
awesome.
man, like you know what, da 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 da. So I told my wife, like, if si te fijas, all the houses are going real quick. So if we want to get this house, we gotta act on it right now. But we're still practicing. We're still looking to see what's up, you know, like to see what we're looking for,
Right.
you know. So whenever we do pull the trigger on it, pues we know what we want. Heck, nah, she took my word for it, and bam, she pulled the trigger, and it was like,
Dang.
oh. So I mean, I was always like afraid of my dad. He would buy houses real cheap, falling down. He would remodel himself.
Cool.
He would save a lot of money like
course.
that.
Yeah.
I was used to that.
Yeah.
I was never used to a 30-year mortgage, you know,
Yeah.
stuff like that. So seeing my dad, so that happens, and it's like, oh, my dad was in Mexico, so it's like I was always like afraid of him. You know, I was
Right.
always scared of him. You know, so she pulls the trigger. So we had like, you know, 5,000 down. We got the a grant from the state.
Yeah.
They paid our down payment.
Oh,
So it's
wow.
like the 5,000 that my wife had, use that for the payments, you know,
Yeah.
like so we can get a head start on it. So it all worked out.
Oh,
you know,
that's
when my
good.
dad came back, I had to tell him, you know,
Yeah.
like I told him, hey dude, you know, like this. He's like, you're gonna be paying $500,000 for that house, da 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 da. And it's like, dude, you know, like I almost broke up with my wife at that time because it was like we got screwed over. But no, it's just my wife was like, no, dude, in the payment is the property taxes and insurance.
Yeah. Oh,
You
man,
gotta
don't
pay
do
that.
You
Yeah.
gotta pay that anyway.
Yeah, so it's like you know, don't really own the house because
Yeah.
if you don't pay that, the city
Yeah,
takes it.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's like, I was like, oh, okay, so that
I
made
mean, that's kind of everybody's.
Yeah.
That's the way everybody
Does it?
yeah, everyone's
does it.
living.
You know, unless you're already in real estate and have, you know, the know around. Like
Yeah.
Your dad, he would buy them really cheap.
Yeah.
And then sell them.
Yeah. Oh no, not well. Like the houses that he has now, he has them rented out.
Rented out,
Yeah, because
yeah.
he's that type. You
Yeah,
know,
cool.
that he's trying to
Good,
see
good for him.
how to live without working.
Right.
Yeah,
How many
that's
houses
it.
has he got?
He has like 4.
Oh, that's
houses,
good.
5 houses.
Is he
Yeah,
still
cool.
buying?
He hasn't. Yeah, he hasn't anymore because he has his main house in Springtown is like 3 acres, and house here on Pearl Avenue, the shop, and the shop has a little house, a little apartment in the back.
Okay.
And then the house in Stop 6, and a house on McCart in South Side.
Wow. Okay.
And
He's
then
all over.
yeah, so
Cool, man.
he had the house in front of the one in Stop 6 too, but he gave that one to my mom. So it's
Yeah,
like
that's what I see a lot of guys doing is buying the houses and flipping them.
yeah.
And I mean, they're doing pretty good, but they'd have to constantly keep buying and flipping,
Yeah.
buying and flipping.
Yeah, he does that with the cars. He does
Ah,
that
yeah.
with the cars. Pero, yeah, with the houses, no, he's renting them because that's a little chorrito, you know, that's coming in constantly.
Stream.
Yeah, a little
Consistent.
stream coming in. So,
Yeah.
because he feels like if he sells a house, it's a
That's
one-time
it.
thing, you know, and he doesn't, when it's a lot of money like that, I don't know.
Yeah.
He thinks he might go crazy or something, you know, like spending it or, you know, or
Buy another house.
or yeah, you know, it's just that.
Do it again.
Well, with the houses that went up, you know,
Yeah,
that's when
they're
that's why he
crazy.
stopped. Yeah,
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
that,
'cause of the-
they went up crazy.
Man, it's like 7%. It's like,
Yeah,
damn.
there's that meme where it's a tent with a AC unit, 250,000. You know, like what the heck? So it's like, yeah, that's why he slowed down. But you know.
Yeah.
About that, the house, you know, how we got it is like it all worked out.
Yeah.
If my wife didn't pull the trigger like that, I don't know where we would be right now.
Right.
Damn.
And the interest rates went crazy at that time.
Yeah.
Couple years back. It kind of happened after COVID, where everything just
Yeah, it went up.
Skyrocket.
everybody blaming Joe Biden.
Yeah, so
Sleeping Joe.
So it's like, it was crazy how it worked out. I mean, I tripped and everything. I went crazy, but I try to look at the silver lining, you know. And if my wife didn't do that, I don't know where we would be right now.
Right.
So it's like, we're glad we did that, because
It's that buyer's remorse is what it was.
yeah, I
It
think
was
so.
buyer's remorse, because you're like, you see the zeros.
All the
You're like, yeah, whoa.
Yeah, that's because when my dad asked me, how much are you paying a month? No, pues tanto, you know, this much. And he's like, dude, you know you're going to be paying $500,000, you know, in 30 years for that house. You know, like, I believe,
but the thing is, it's going to be, your value of the house is going to double.
Yeah.
If you look at it now, have you checked it?
Yeah. My wife was telling me the other day, like, hey, dude, it went up 10 G's already. And we've been there. Well, this was like 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
We've been there for 5 years, 6 years already. So she was like, in the first year, it went up 10.
Yeah, worst case scenario, that's what you got. So you can sell the house. And
That's an investment, really.
Yeah,
the house.
it is. That's how I convinced my dad. You know, that, like, look, Dad, you know, it's off of 121 and Beach, the house.
Oh, okay.
So 30 is right there. They say they're gonna.
It's like
Yeah.
downtown Fort Worth is right there.
It's a nice view.
And then they say they're gonna make a river walk.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So it's like Gateway Park is down the street.
Yeah.
You know,
It's going
like,
up.
Yeah.
It's gonna go up.
So it's like, look at it like this, Dad. You know, like, I might be paying it off, whatever, but in the future, if someone really wants to buy it, they're gonna buy it. You know, like, whatever I ask for.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's in a good spot. It's in a good area. Still close to downtown. You know, I feel like, you know, living in downtown New York. You know,
Yeah.
that's how I feel like.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm grateful. You know, that we got that house.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. So
Cool, bro. Well,
yeah.
I think that's it, man.
You got any questions?
You got any questions?
I mean, not really, man. I kind of got captured in the y'all talking, and
Yeah.
and I was just thinking, you've always given me good advice, bro, and I think the best piece of advice you ever given me, bro, and I literally I live by it, bro. Now, you know what I mean, like, and that was whenever you told me anything worth having doesn't come easy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And this was whenever, like, I was in this house right here, bro. I was struggling to keep my damn lights on. It came to a point where they cut my damn water off. You know what I mean? They cut my gas off. You know, I'm just falling off. You know, I was never used to, you know what I mean? Like, just being on top of my stuff. You know what I mean? Like, nobody really showed me, like, hey, you know, I always heard it like, hey, pay your bills. Pay your bills.
When do you pay your bills?
Yeah, and it was just like I had to learn the hard way, bro. You know, I had to get my water cut off. I had to get my gas cut off. And in the middle of the summer, you know, every now, you know, like there was never a point in time where like everything, like the light, I would at least try to keep the light. But it was just like I would go out on a hot ass summer day, work my ass off in the sun, come back home. Shit, I can't take a shower.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what I mean? You might want to ponerte las pilas. You know what I'm saying? You might want to, you know what I mean? You might want to start hustling a little bit harder. You know what I mean? Be more disciplined. You know what I mean? And that's whenever I'd go to him, you know what I mean? Kind of complaining about my problems. Like, hey, bro, you want the water, right? It's worth having. Well, it's not going to come easy. You know what I mean? You better get to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get on your stuff. You know what I mean? Be on top of your stuff. Be more disciplined in money management, you know?
Yeah.
And I was never woke to that, bro. You know what I mean? I never understood that.
Yeah.
You know?
That's another thing that I was trying to, like, another cycle I was trying to break. Because, like, our parents, you know, they're old school. They wouldn't talk to us about sex or anything like that. They would just be like, hey, rifatela, you know, and because that's how they were raised. So it's like, I saw him, you know, and it's like, he needs some guidance.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, my dad, he was tough and everything. He has sat me down a couple of times. Hey, mijo, sabes qué, like this. But most of the time, it was like, you learn on your own, you know. So it's like, with the car, that's what I learned. You know, like those values.
For sure.
Where it's like, it's something that I wanted, something that I wanted to keep alive. I had to work for it.
Yeah.
And it's something that I would tell him, like, anything that's worth having, you know, is not easy.
Yeah.
You know, and that I feel like that applies to everything. You know,
Yeah.
like you know.
Definitely.
So yeah, I would try to help him out, give him all sorts of advice. Because I would always he would be like my apprentice.
Right,
you know,
right.
like I would try
His
to
little
be
cuz.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll try
Yeah.
to be his older brother and everything. You know, pues, he's had a hard life. He's
Yeah.
had a hard
Oh, yeah.
life. He's had it rough. You know,
Yeah.
like I'm sure we all have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In some way, somehow, pero pues. How he says, like he was always, he's always been a lone wolf and everything, but sometimes you got to run with the pack.
Yeah.
And I try to be that, lone
wolf.
that older
No,
brother.
yeah, man, I really appreciate it, because the people that I had around, obviously, Edward, they weren't the best. They weren't the best role models, bro. Yeah, man, just was always just, I was just bad, man, just stealing shit. You know what I mean? Like just on drugs or trying to sell them. You know what I mean? Trying to get make money the fast way. Obviously, I don't know if y'all have heard it said before, but I learned the hard way. There's no substitution for hard work. So
Yeah.
honest
work. Yeah.
And like you inspired me, bro. Even because the shop's right here on Azel, and dude, you know what I mean. I'd be thinking I'm going hard. Waking up before the sun, going to work and then getting off, like around 3-4 p.m. And then I'm rolling down the street and it's like almost 8, and this fool's still at the damn shop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hard working,
Like,
man.
Yeah.
And
But that's because sometimes the customers, that's when they get off of work.
Yeah.
That's another thing my dad taught me. We got to take care of them because they're taking care of us.
Yeah.
So we're
That's a
eating, we're
good
living
one.
off
yeah,
of them.
and I always seen you
that's
as
a
the
good
type that you show up before the sun comes up, and then you're there long before it's gone. You know what I mean?
I tried to. There was a point where I started getting there late and stuff, but I would try to stay there late.
Yeah.
Pero pues it's just that I feel like I have lived a comfortable life, too comfortable where it's not a good thing too.
Yeah.
So it's like now that's what I guess that's what I'm trying to do, trying to be on my own. I'm chucking myself in the deep end. I'm trying to maybe not suffer. But they say, suffering helps you grow.
Right.
So it's like I'm trying, to put myself in that position.
I mean, look at you. You're on the podcast, bro. And
Yeah.
you're doing something different.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Out
So
of your
it's
comfort zone.
Definitely
Yeah,
out of the comfort
I am.
zone, right? Yeah.
Hey, you are. Yeah, you're a natural, by the way.
Yeah, you
And
are,
I'm
bro.
tripping
What do you
out
mean?
on that over here.
Communicator,
You
bro.
forgot about the microphones.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You mean
Yeah,
this?
bro.
He was definitely nervous. And,
Yeah,
But now he's not. It's
but,
just
it's just
getting into it.
That's how I am too. Once I get comfortable with someone, I suelto toda la sopa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like
The rest is history.
Yeah,
history.
so it's like
Cool, man.
Oh yeah, man.
Well, speaking of you doing this on your own, or being
Self-employed.
self-employed,
yeah.
what how can people get a hold of you or
did
for
you-
your services, or do you
Yeah.
want to put that out there?
Yeah.
Not right now, but whenever I'm a little bit more free from, once the girls really start school and stuff, I'll be able to have more, free time. It's just that I only have like 4 or 5 hours, to be able to do something.
Yeah.
So like as of right now, oil changes,
Basic
brake
stuff,
pads.
yeah.
So, do you want to plug that in? Just he's only doing oil services. He's not doing nothing crazy
nothing
like
too crazy.
changing an engine. That was a favor. That was a
so
big
it's
favor.
like,
No,
yeah,
yeah.
to get
So-
them up and running.
So oil, like what
oil
is this?
changes, brake pads,
Little fine tune-ups and all that.
little-
Whatnot.
yeah,
Change
little
spark plugs.
things that I can do in a
Real
short
quick.
amount of time. Yeah.
I mean, if you want to plug in your Facebook, that's fine. That you can. But if not, don't
I don't
worry
have
about
one,
it.
you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Hector,
Or,
I don't
have one.
your-
I got my
yeah,
cell
maybe
phone
not your
number.
phone number.
Y'all stay tuned.
Y'all stay tuned. Part 2.
Yeah.
Let me get adjusted first. Let
sure.
me get adjusted first because I took a month and a half
No,
to
yeah,
do his
yeah. I
engine.
know,
when
it's-
normally it takes me 2 days.
Right.
So it's like I'm trying to get myself mentally,
There.
Yeah. So it's like, as of right now, I'm trying to.
Did you want to shout anything out before we end it, bro? I know you wanted to share some things.
Just for the Memorial Day for the veterans, and we got a couple of cousins and some sobrinos.
Shout out.
Thank you guys so much. For the fallen ones. Thank you for for the sacrifices, and pues aquí estamos a la orden. For whatever anything we can do to help out.
Yeah, man.
So
Shout out to them.
Shout out to everyone.
Sobrinos. Shout out
sobrinas.
sobrinos.
Yeah, so it's like to everyone, man. Everyone that's having a hard time. Everyone that's having a hard
Yeah.
time. It's the night is darkest before the sunrise. Just
bro.
Just hang on, hang tight, and everything will work out.
For sure.
Right.
Just call on Jesus.
Call on
Yeah.
Jesus.
Speaking of that, I just want to remind everybody, you know, seek first the kingdom of God, and everything that you need, everything that you want will be added unto you, you know. Don't worry about tomorrow. You know, tomorrow will worry about itself. I just want to remind everybody to live in the moment. You know, to live in the moment. You know, love on your family, because everything could be gone tomorrow or today even.
Yeah.
So, you know, call your mom, call your dad, call your cousins, call your friends. You know what I mean? Check up on everybody. You know what I mean? Because there's people out there that are feeling alone right now.
Right.
And I can feel y'all's. I can feel that. I can feel that in the world right now.
Yeah.
And we all need each other more than what we realize. You know, so just, you know, I just would like for everybody to, you know, to spread the love. You know what I mean? Spread the love. Yeah. And for those people that don't feel like you're enough, you are enough. You're worth it. You know what I mean? And, you know, we love y'all.
Yeah, you were worth someone dying for you, and that's Jesus Christ.
Yes.
So, but that concludes our podcast for the day, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed. Like, subscribe, hit the noties, and tune in for next time.
Roll credits.
Roll credits. Plenty of credits today.
Thank y'all.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Thank y'all for having me again.
Oh, yeah, bro.
Great.
Heck yeah,
You were
appreciate it.
natural.
Yeah, bro, you did really good, bro.